You probably think that getting a girl to fall in love with you is like winning the lottery, that you have to be a model, a billionaire, or someone with superpowers to do it. Now pay attention. That's not true. All you need to do is understand how female psychology works and stop making the same mistake 99% of guys make. Today, I'm going to give you 10 clear tips that will help you generate interest, affection, and even addiction in any girl you like. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, or your height in centimeters. The only question is how willing you are to change. The first thing we'll start with is value. Girls don't fall in love with someone who's beneath them. If you put her above yourself, if you're willing to give up everything for her, if you're willing to run to her at her beck and call, guess what happens? You automatically reset your value to zero. Falling in love with a girl isn't about begging her for love. It's about her starting to see something rare in you, something she wants to hold on to. And it's for this reason that the first piece of advice is to be a man who has a life of his own. An interesting, fulfilling one with goals and movement. Then you become someone you want to watch and then be around. And that's where the most important thing happens. She becomes afraid of losing you. Because you don't depend on her, you don't chase her. You live your own interesting and rich life. And everything that doesn't run after us always becomes 100 times more interesting. That's when you become a challenge for her. Second piece of advice, unpredictability. The most boring type of guy is the one who is the same every day. Texts good morning at the same time, asks to go for a walk on Saturdays, gives flowers once a week. Boring. Remember, romance is not predictability. Romance is emotions. And if you want her to fall in love, be unpredictable. Sometimes disappear for a day. Sometimes surprise her with something for no reason. Don't let her read you completely. As soon as she stops trying to figure you out, she stops wanting you. Let her ask herself questions. What is he up to today? Why didn't he text like usual? Does he even think about me? These little doubts are fuel for interest. The more such thoughts are in her head, the more you cut into her emotions. Third tip, you don't have to be always available. One of the most underrated ways to pique a girl's interest is to be busy. Not because you're faking it, but because you have a really busy life. Hobbies, goals, development. Your day shouldn't revolve around her. When you disappear off the radar, not because you're playing, but because you're living, she gets bored. Girls respect men who have their own way. And if you make it clear that you have something better to do than respond to her every message in 3 seconds, she automatically elevates you above the rest. And the best part is, the less you try to get her to like you, the more she starts thinking about you and wanting your attention. The fourth tip is to be someone who knows how to listen. Don't just nod when she speaks, but ask questions that make her open up. Ask not just, how was your day, but what really surprised or pissed you off today? Make her feel real around you. And then you will become for her that rare man with whom she can be herself. And that's the kind of man you get attached to. Because women don't remember words, they remember the feelings you evoke. If next to you she can laugh, sad, angry, and all this without fear of being misunderstood, consider that you have already stood out. Emotional closeness is your most powerful trump card. The fifth tip is don't be afraid to be honest. But honesty doesn't mean telling her about your failures on the first date. It means if you don't like something, you say so. If you want it differently, you're not afraid to suggest it. Most men are afraid of losing a girl before she's even been theirs. And that's why they adjust to the girl. But girls don't fall in love with those who bend over. They fall in love with those who have their own opinions. Honesty is about the inner core. When you say what you think and do what you think is right, she sees you as a real man. Even if she doesn't agree with something, her respect for you only grows. And that respect builds attraction. The sixth point is physics. You can't make a girl fall in love with you with words alone. Touching, looking, the distance between you, all this creates tension. When you're walking next to each other, you need to shorten the distance sometimes. When you laugh, you can lightly touch her hand. Most importantly, do it naturally without pressure. Women sense when you're trying to be something you're not. And if you are confident in yourself, touch becomes a powerful tool that causes not just interest, but real desire. It is through touch that you can build that invisible but strong connection that hooks her on a subconscious level. It's not about vulgarity. It's about the energy between you, about how you make her feel like a woman next to a man she can trust. 7th point. Don't let her feel like you're already caught. Too many guys make the mistake. As soon as a girl shows interest, they immediately relax and start acting like they've already achieved everything. But women fall in love with the process, not the outcome. Continue to maintain a light game and distance. Keep the bar high and do not rush to demonstrate that you are now completely belong to her. This will keep the passion and desire alive for months to come. Remember, women do not fall in love with those who become too accessible and predictable, but with those who retain their individuality and remain an interesting mystery. Even if you feel a strong liking, keep your inner balance. Always put your life, your goals, and values first. This will make her realize that you are not going to dissolve in the relationship, which means that you are really worth pursuing. And then she will fight for your attention more and more every day. 8th tip. Don't be an open book. Don't tell her your whole life in one day. Leave room for imagination. Leave a mystery. Let her ask herself questions. Who are you really? What do you do for a living? Why do you disappear sometimes? Why did you look at her like that? The more questions you provoke, the more you get into her mind. And when a man's in your head, he doesn't have to prove anything. Make it seem like there's always more behind you. Let her try to put the puzzle together. Mystery is a powerful magnet. When you don't reveal all the cards at once, you turn into a fascinating book that you want to read over and over again. The 9th tip is to respect yourself. If you say you're busy, don't cancel your plans just to meet her. If you see her violating your boundaries, tell her so. You don't have to be convenient, you have to be real. When you value your time and your opinion, it's felt, and she starts to respect you too. And without respect, there's no love. And it's through respect for yourself that real attraction is born. After all, if you are ready to bend for her every whim, how can she believe that you are a man who wants to follow? 10th tip. Let her feel emotion, not just joy. Sometimes a little irritation, sometimes a little anxiety. Emotions are the fuel for falling in love. You can be the smartest, the most beautiful, the richest, but if you don't have emotions around you, she'll go to someone who does. Falling in love is always a mixture of opposites. Joy and anxiety, lightness and tension, interest and reticence. Learn to control it, and she will think about you day and night. Now listen to the main point. All of these tips are not magic buttons. It's a way of thinking. It's how you communicate, how you hold yourself, how you build the dynamic between you. You don't play a role. You become the kind of man that people really fall in love with. And when you learn to be like that, you won't have to chase after someone. You'll choose for yourself. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with your friends.